Good morning, students. Today I'm going to do the lesson 3 Days to See. This is an essay written by Helen Keller, who was deaf and blind since childhood. When she was very small, she was stricken with deafness and blindness. But she lived her life so courageously, and nobody could judge that she was deaf or blind. She was the one to start the Braille system for the blind. She helped to form the language for the blind. And she has written books. She was a very determined lady. Now, this lesson, what would you look as if you had just 3 days of sight? Now, if you got only 3 days to see, so what all you wanted to see? Helen Keller, blind and deaf from infancy, gives her answers to this remarkable essay. So she has given the answers that if she has just 3 days to see, what all she could want to see. I have often thought it would be a blessing if each human being was stricken blind and deaf for a few days at some time during his early adult life. So she says that I want that stricken means affected, that if everyone in this world was affected with the blindness and deafness, then they would realize, each human being would realize that what it is to be in the dark and not to hear a sound. Darkness would make him more appreciative of sight. Now, if you were blind, then you would realize the importance of darkness, that what it is to stay in dark. When we see, we can see everything around us, the beauty of nature, everything, every minute thing we can see. Our family, our friends, our neighbors, everything. But if we have no sight, you cannot see anything. You are always in darkness. Silence would teach him the joy of sound. If you were deaf, then you would know what is sound for you. Now and then I have tested my seeing friends to discover what they see. Recently, I asked a friend who had just returned from a long walk in the woods what she had observed. Nothing in particular, she replied. Now she says, I'm just asked my friends. I have tested my friends who have got sight, who have got ears to hear. I have asked them, and one of my friend was in woods for 1 hour. She was just gone strolling there. And I asked her, what did you see there? And she said, in particular, nothing. How was it possible, I asked myself, to walk for an hour through the woods and see nothing worthy of note? Now she says that how is it possible that you are having sight, you are having sound, and you can't see anything? It is next to impossible. I, who cannot see, find hundreds of things to interest me through mere touch. She said, I am blind, but I see hundreds of things by just touching them. I can feel what they are. I feel the delicate symmetry of a leaf. So she can feel the proportions of the leaf. They are pointed, round, whatever the shape of the leaf is, just by mere touch. I pass my hands lovingly about the smooth skin of a silver birch or the rough shaggy bark of a pine. Now even she can feel the smooth birch tree bark and the pine tree bark, which is very rough. Shaggy means very rough. In spring, I touch the branches of trees hopefully in search of a bud, the first sign of awakening. Nature after the winter sleep. Now, after winter, spring comes, so she just touches the trees and she feels the bud, because bud is the life for the flower. Like when we are in the mother's womb, then when we are out as babies, then we grow up and we become man or woman. So, same way, bud is the growth, the first thing. We plant a seed, and when it grows into a shoot, gets its roots, then the bud appears. So, that is the starting life for the plant. So, she feels that also, and she feels so happy touching that bud. The first nature after the winter sleep. Occasionally, if I am very fortunate, I place my hands gently on a small tree and feel the happy quiver of a bird in full swing. Now, when she is in the springtime, when she happens to touch a small tree, then she can even feel the shaking of the bird. At times, my heart cries out with longing to see all these things. Now she is so blind, but she wants to really, really see all these things which she feels in her heart. If I can get so much pleasure from mere touch, how much more beauty must be revealed by sight. So she says, revealed here means, beta, that you can just discover. She says, like just mere touch, I feel so happy. Now, if I see it in real, then what pleasure it would be. And I have imagined what I should most like to see if I were given the use of my eyes, say, for just 3 days. So she says, I just want to tell people around that if I get sight for 3 days, what all I would do. On my first day, I should want to see the people whose kindness and companionship have made my life worth living. So, all those people who have been so kind to her till now, and all the company they have given to her, she wants to meet those people and feel them, see them. I do not know what it is to see into the heart of a friend through that window of the soul, the eye. So, she says the eye is the window of the soul. The eye is the heart of the soul. So she just wants to peep in through the eyes and see how beautiful her friends, her family, and everyone around is. I can only see through my fingertips the outline of a face. I can detect laughter, sorrow, and many other obvious emotions. I know my friends from the feel of their faces. So just by merely touching the face, she can feel the emotions. So that means her touch is so powerful now. For instance, can you describe accurately the faces of 5 different friends? As an experiment, I have questioned husbands about the color of their wives' eyes, and often they express embarrassed confusion and admit that they do not know. So she says, 5 persons, I just want to just find out what are their emotions or whatever. So she says, I've asked 5 of the husbands of my friends that what are the color of your eyes, your wife's eyes, what color they have. They are embarrassed and confused because they have never observed. I should like to see the books which have been read to me and which have revealed to me the deepest channels of human life. So, the books which people have read to her, she wants to read herself and just go deep into those meaning of the words written in that. In the afternoon, I should take a long walk in the woods and intoxicate my eyes on the beauties of the world of nature. So she says in the afternoon she would just go and long walk she would take in the woods and see the beauty of the nature. And I should pray for the glory of a colorful sunset. That night I should not be able to sleep. Now she wants to see the beautiful sunset and she doesn't want to sleep the whole night. On my second day, I should like to see the pageant of man's progress and I should go to the museums. I should try to probe into the soul of man through his art. Now she wants to, on the second day, she wants to go and she wants to see the exhibitions, go to the museum and see the works of art and see how beautifully those painters or artists have done, sculptures they have made, whatever of the artworks are there, she just wants to admire them. And in the evening, through the things I know through touch, I should now see. The evening of my second day, I should spend at a theater or at the movies. So, in the evening, she wants to go to the theater or she wants to see the movies. The following morning, I should again greet the dawn, anxious to discover new delights, new revelations of beauty. So, next day, on the third day, she wants to get up and she wants to see the dawn. Just before the sunrise, she wants to see that beauty and she wants to see what all is there around her. Today, this third day, I shall spend in the workaday world amid the haunts of men going about the business of life. Now, she wants to see people, how they are going about, and want to visit those people and see how they are doing in their daily life. At midnight, permanent night would close on me again. Only when darkness had again descended upon me should I realize how much I had left unseen. So now these 3 days are so short for her that she wants to have sight for many, many more days, so that she wants to see everything possible and enjoy the beauty of nature. I am sure that if you have faced the fate of blindness, you would use your eyes as never before. Now, if you know that you are going to go blind or you have gone blind, then you would know what is darkness for you and what you have never ever seen. We people take everything lightly. Oh, I saw, I didn't see. We don't even see the real beauty of everything, even a flower, even a stone, anything around us. We'll say, okay, okay, I saw it, I didn't see it. Your everything you saw would become dear to you. Your eyes would touch and embrace every object that came within your range of vision. Now, if you know that you're going to go blind, so whatever you will see, you will like to capture its beauty. Then at least you would really see, and a new world of beauty would open itself before you. Now, if you know that you're going to go blind, so everything will become so beautiful to you that you will capture it like in a lens. Like we capture the photographs and then we see after years and years, there are memories. So, same way, then we will keep everything what we have seen around us as memories. I, who am blind, can give one hint to those who see. Use your eyes as if tomorrow you would be stricken blind. And the same method can be applied to the other senses. Hear the music of voices, the song of the bird. So she says that I am telling you that see the beauty of the nature, enjoy every minute of it. And the same for your sound. If you have this, you are not deaf, and God forbids if you become deaf, then you will never hear any sound. So hear the music of voices, the song of bird, the mighty strains of the orchestra, as if you would be stricken deaf tomorrow. So tomorrow, if you even hear the musical notes, just capture them, the sound, just have it with you, so that because you don't know when you will be struck with deafness. Touch each object as if tomorrow your tactile sense would fail. Tactile sense means the sense of touch. So whatever you touch with real love, so that because maybe your even the touching sense would fail one day. Smell the perfume of flowers, taste with relish each morsel. Now you smell the flowers because you have the sense of smell, and with relish enjoy each bite what you eat. Morsel means each whatever you eat, a small piece of whatever you're eating, just relish it. As if tomorrow you could never smell and taste again. That means some days may come that you will miss your smelling sense, your tasting sense, then you will not know what you're eating, what is around you. Make the most of every sense, but of all the senses, I am sure that sight must be the most delightful. She says, be very thankful for every sense you have and use every sense properly. Make the most use of every sense. But sight is the most delightful one and the most important. Because just looking at something, you feel so happy. You are sad if you see something bad happening around you. You feel so happy when you see something very, very beautiful around you. So she says, of all the senses, sight is the most delightful and the most important. So she says, if God gives me 3 days to see what all I can see, I will miss so many things. But God give me for 3 days, at least I can see something which I have never seen for years and years. So, this is a chapter that always have whatever sense you have, take care of it. Love it. Enjoy it. Thank you. Which